What's going down, y'all? It's the Wake Up Crew, Ray G, joined as always by my man Jay Rich to talk some NBA prop plays over on PrizePicks for this Monday, November the 21st, 2022 NBA slate. We're getting all kinds of words that all these players are out. Warriors are chilling tonight after Steph Curry went demon mode last night. Andrew Wiggins went crazy. Good call on the over Andrew Wiggins. What was it, 16.5 points for Wiggins?
Yep.
16.5 points. Easy cash there. Domantas Sabonis had a great game. He just didn't score. Should have took the points, rebounds, and assists. His points over 18.5 did not hit. And as well as that first half scary play, Jay Rich, the fearful one, it helped him avoid Kristaps Porzingis, who did nothing in the first half of last night's matchup. Went 1 for 2, bringing our overall record to, I think, 64-54 on the season. But we hit the model, we shopped the book lines, and we got some more plays that we're going to get into right now.
For all the high-flying action, take a step back and relax. It's time to count that money, the NBA props. No look any further. You know what time it is. Presented by PrizePicks, NBA props. Let's
count that money, man. All right, Jay, kick us off. Where we starting at?
We're starting with the man right in front of us here, Evan Mobley, over his 22.5 points plus rebounds. Evan Mobley has been a monster. This line opened up at 22.5 and has since already moved right to 23.5 on every single book out there. Mobley has hit in 4 of his last 5. He's hit in 5 of his last 7. Like I talked about, juice to the over already. Versus Atlanta, he's averaged 27.5 for the points and rebounds. And over the last 5, he's been averaging 28.2. So great spot for Evan Mobley here up against an Atlanta defense that hasn't been great against the center. You know, they got abused by Joel Embiid in a couple of games. Mobley, obviously a very good rebounder. Rebounds is really his specialty, where he's really made his money over the past few days. He's been averaging, I believe, 12.5 rebounds over his last 5 games. So tap that in with also the points, which he has been scoring against Atlanta. He's hit his points in every single game against Atlanta last season. So a lot of reasons to really like Mobley in this one. I think this is a great spot. Hit 15 plus in 6 of his last 7. So really good spot for Mobley. And like I mentioned, tons of value compared to the books as well. So really love this play for Mobley.
Love when we get that value, right? When we get it at 22.5 and it's 23.5 on the books. There you go. Versus Atlanta, Evan Mobley should be in a good spot. I like the play. And more importantly, Jay, I like the data. Now, I've got one for you. I don't know how you feel about it. I know we kind of talked about Boston, but they're facing off against Chicago, who is not very good at all defensively. And I like Jason Tatum more than 27.5 points. Now, you look at what Tatum's done over his last 5 games right there at 28, and he hasn't hit this number in 3 straight, but this is a great spot for him. He's been over in 9 of his last 16 games. Good buy low candidate. Chicago's the 7th highest. They're allowing the 7th highest field goal percentage allowed in the NBA, 3rd highest 3-point percentage, and we know Jason Tatum likes to jack up those threes. The 10th most points per game to power forwards, and they are 5th worst in defensive efficiency versus the power forward position. Jason Tatum in his last 10 games is averaging 21.5 field goal attempts over his last 10 and 9 free throw attempts as well. We talk about Chicago being pretty poor at closing out. This should be a good opportunity for him and Jaylen Brown to go over their point totals, depending on which one you like. Some people may like Jaylen Brown a little bit more. Jaylen Brown at 24.5. And on the books right now, Jason Tatum is chilling at, let's see where the money is. It's about even money, a little bit of juice to the over on DraftKings at -125 and Caesars -132 to the over. So that's what I'm rolling with. Jason Tatum, more than 27.5 points versus Chicago.
Yeah, Ray, you hit on a lot of good points there, and it's one of the reasons why I've been hearing a lot of people talking about Grant Williams for the same reasons, right? They allow a ton of 3-pointers. They don't cover the 3 very well. They're not very good with their spacing, and we know that Boston can use and abuse and pass them all over the place. So whether you want to go Brown or Tatum, I don't know what the best answer is. One of them is probably going to go over their number. I think I was leaning more towards Brown when I was looking at the data a little bit earlier, but I think to your point, the thing with Tatum that I love is he will jack up those threes. Brown, sometimes he's hot, sometimes he's not, but I can usually count on Tatum to be very good so far, and he's been facilitating a little bit more. But in this matchup, I think it's a great spot for him to go over. So I am kind of with you. I think it's a great one for him. I do want to switch gears a little bit and talk about Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez has been surprisingly good over the past little bit. I'm going to his points and assists, and you can just go to the points. Points are 14.5. If you want to take the points and assists, they are 15.5. So it's very, very close. Basically, you're banking on him getting the points, but if he does still happen to get 2 assists, which he's done in 2 of his last 4 games, you are getting a little bit of an edge there, and that's why I would be taking the points and assists. The Portland Trail Blazers ranked 27th in points and assists allowed to opposing centers. They're allowing 29.2 over the last 5 games. And on top of that, Brook Lopez has been getting 21.2 over his last 5 games. So he's been going way over this number a lot. So for me, I think this is another great spot. The books haven't quite adjusted this number yet, but I think that it's one that will change. And if you look at the points, it's probably a little bit closer to even. The slightly juiced to the under for the points and assists, but for the points, it's kind of split between the books depending on where you look. I think both numbers are fine. I like Brook Lopez in this one. He can shoot threes. Giannis is going to be involved, and he can get some easy buckets that way. So for me, I think I would be rolling with Brook Lopez. More of a flex play for me, not quite a core play, but I'm definitely thinking that we should be taking it tonight because it is a great line and a great matchup for Brook Lopez.
I'll tell you what I like too with Brook Lopez are his blocks and steals. Jay, I've been looking at this one. I know you're talking about Brook. Blocks and steals on the books at 2.5, minus 130 juice to the over for the blocks and steals for Brook Lopez. And you can see what he's averaging over his last 5. 3.6, and that was only influenced by that game versus Atlanta where he had 0, but 6, 3, 4, and 5. Brook Lopez blocks and steals. I like it. It's not a core play for me at all, so you can flex it. Jay said the same thing with the points and assists. Not a core play, but he really likes the number at 15.5. And the final one I want to go to, I'm going to stay in the blocks and steals category and talk about Oklahoma City Thunder guard Lu Dort under 1.5 blocks and steals. He's played the Knicks 5 times in his career. And Jay, in those 5 games, he has a combined total of 3 blocks and steals, like 3,
Oof.
1, 2, 3 in the 5 games that he's played against them. His block percentage for the Thunder is about 7.5%. Steal percentage about 25% of the team steals. Now, Oklahoma City, they're top 5 in the NBA in steals and causing teams to turn the ball over. The New York Knicks are towards the bottom of the NBA in actually turning the ball over, about 14.2 turnovers per game. We know Shea's going to get his, but this is one where it's juiced to the under, minus 130 on the books for Dort. Let's pull that up real quick. Lu Dort, blocks and steals. Let's go to that. There it is, minus 135, minus 130, and minus 139 to the under. I really like this play. Kind of obscure. I know some people are afraid to take those unders, but I'm taking Lu Dort under 1.5 blocks and steals. In a bonus play, it hit last game, and it's probably going to hit again tonight. After the first quarter, you have to do it right away. But Anthony Simons over his second half fantasy score has been cash this season. Again, no Dame Lillard in this one, so they may bump it up. If it's anywhere from 15.5 to 17.5, take it. I'm telling you, this play has been money, but I mean, there's no way to kind of predict that right now. But with no Lillard and seeing where his fantasy score is right now at 35.5, it's probably going to open up a little bit higher than 17.5. If it's anything over 17.5, leave it alone. But I just wanted to call it out for the people watching the show. So there we go. We got Evan Mobley, more than 22.5 points and rebounds. Hurry up and get that before it changes on the books. Tatum, more than 27.5 points. Brook Lopez, if you want it, points and assists, more than 15.5. And then Lu Dort, under 1.5 blocks and steals. Jay, anything else you want to say to people before we get out of here?
Quickly, I do want to talk about Anthony Simons' assists, right? Because we talked about that prior to the show. His assist line is only 5. We know that Dame Lillard is probably not going to play in this one. And every game that Dame has not played this season, Anthony Simons has had 6 or more assists. And on top of that, if you are feeling frisky and want to take a plus money bet, which we don't do on PrizePicks, but if you want to take it anyways, Tyrese Halliburton over 2.5 threes is plus 106 on FanDuel. It's a line that I really do like. He hit threes in his last game against Orlando, and he's been fairly consistent this season. It's a play that I do like. It's, I believe, the 28th ranked defense at defending the 3. They allow 3.4 per game to opposing point guards. He's been hitting 2.6 over his last 5. I'm projected for right around 3. I think he can get it in this one. Like I mentioned, he hit it last game. I expect him to do it again. Points line is 19.5, but I do like the threes a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm looking at these points, Jay. I'm looking at those Halliburton points. Let's take a look at the Halliwagon and see what the money is on this one. Let's go Halliburton. Where you at? No Halliburton. It's not going to give it to us, Jay. I mean, pulled it up.
It's not. What do you want? The points are pretty even right now. It's
minus
114. Okay. Minus 114 to minus 125, so some slight juice to the over. And like I mentioned, the threes are between like plus 106 to about even, plus 100.
Well, I'm
individual
telling
plays.
people don't take the points. I'm not recommending the points. I don't want to do it. I don't
If
want to get
Ray, if you
crazy.
do want the points and assists, though, that line is moving. I believe on PrizePicks it's still 30.5. It's minus 125 all the way up to 31.5 on that's on PointsBet and on FanDuel actually. So it's split between books right now at 30.5 or 31.5. I think PrizePicks, if it's still out, did have it at 30.5 at one point for
It
the
is
points and assists.
still
Yeah,
up.
so that's actually another pretty good value play if you like that one. Obviously, we love Hallie at 29.5. When you get 30.5, it's like, damn
Yeah,
it. But he
burned
did
us at 29.5 a couple of days ago, but
but I think against Orlando, he was the game he went. I think he had like 24 points and 14 assists. So he actually did have a really good game last time against Orlando. So you could go after that. Yeah, 36 against
oof,
Orlando last
man.
game. Yeah, so it is a pretty good spot. He's hit this number in 7 of his last 10 games and in 5 of his last 7. So another 5 of the last 7. He's pretty good. That's why it's used to the over. So if you do like Halliburton, that's not a bad one as well. Dude's been playing around 35 minutes a game, so he's pretty solid.
All right, there it is. Tyrese Halliburton, 30.5. It'd be after these plays, but I kind of like it, Jay. I kind of like it. All right, we are done. That's what we're gonna roll with today. So we appreciate everybody tapping in. Jay, it looked like you got one more. Do you have another
No,
one?
no,
Do you
no,
have
no.
another one for us?
Ray, unfortunately for me, there's always going to be more plays, but I'm leaving it at that for the day. When you're scrolling through about 400 plays a day like I do, it's just, there's always something.
There's
You want to
always
take
something.
Darius Garland under his assists?
I love a good under. I love a good under. 8.5 assists for Garland.
Oh, never mind. They were 9.5 earlier, so
Yeah.
not that
Okay,
number.
let's
No,
get out. Let's
not that
let's
number.
let's get out. Let's get out. That is it. Evan Mobley 22.5, Tatum 27.5, Lopez 15.5, and Lou Dort under 1.5 blocks and steals. That's what we're rolling with today. Take what you like, leave what you don't. Just hit that thumbs up button on your way out. If you want to chat with us, it's a dope community. We just talk props. We have a lot of fun. Fantasy football, NBA, MLB, college football, NFL, patreon.com/all gas. It's $10 a month. We drop plays. We drop our data. We're transparent with everything. Come over here and join the squad. Other than that, if you tail, give PrizePicks hell. And if we fail, don't bail. We got Monday Night Football plays. We got more NBA props tomorrow. So just stay tapped in. Hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate y'all. We're out. Good luck. Peace.